Hello and welcome to another What's Inside. Today we are looking at Rapid Recall. This is from 1993 from Western. Item number 5059 for 4 or more players in teams, ages adult. So this is definitely for adults. This is not for younger players. This was popular in the early 90s for a very short time, but it did have a kind of a niche crowd among the people I knew. So let's take a look at what we've got in the box and see if it might be something you're interested in. So right away we've got our score sheet, and it also has a contents list. We're going to have 300 Rapid Recall cards, a plastic viewer game board, 60 recall tokens, 2 token trays, 2 timers, and a tally tray and instructions. So let's take a look at our board first. This is a 4-fold. It's actually pretty thick, which is nice. Let's get the box out of the way. Alright, so your tray is going to go in the middle here. And that is actually in the box here. See, that would go here. And then you've got your team sides here. So also in the box we have 2 timers. We have a 30-second timer and a 60-second timer. The 30-second timer is the one with the colored end caps. So we need a 30-second timer, and the clear end is the 60-second. So make sure you have these or a stopwatch or something on your phone to mimic this, but that's how long the timers are. Most of the time they don't tell us how long the timers are, so this is really nice to know. Also in the box, thankfully there's a spot for everything in here, which is really nice. We've got our trays with our colored tokens. There should be 30 of each of these. So we've got the purple ones. And you can see there's like kind of a ridging on here. It's kind of neat. And then we've got our sort of teal colored ones, which really like to fall out of the containers. So you might want to put these in a baggie or something, because they'll go all over the place in here. And you can put them in here too, but there's kind of a spot for it. Now here is our, what do they call this? Tally tray. And it's got instructions on the sheet on how to use this, and basically you just move this to whatever's on the card. It's pretty straightforward how you play the game. The design is very 90s though. So here's the card stack. It actually opens at the top, and the cards, we'll take a look at a couple of them, get kind of an idea of what kind of things are on here. So there are 300 of these cards. They are very odd shape, and they are very, very thin. So these actually could get destroyed very easily. Now thankfully there is numbering at the bottom. So like these are cards 88 and 89. And what you would do is take your tray and put the cards on here. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, you can just flip the tray and adjust accordingly. So do that sort of thing. You have to remember your answers. It's a pretty straightforward game. The instructions are real easy, but you want to make sure that this thing's in good shape and that it's present. And if you're a completionist like me, you'll want to check to make sure all 300 cards are there. But that's a lot of cards to look at. But they're all different themed. So it's pretty straightforward. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary for the time. There's just not a lot of pieces in the game. You'll notice this box gets real scuffed up pretty easily. It's really cheap kind of outer coating, but it's a pretty sturdy box actually. Okay, that's not a lot to the game, but it is a pretty straightforward game. You don't need a whole lot of components to play it. It's just sort of being a completionist. And it is not a bad game. It was a little more popular than it probably should have been, but it might be worth tracking down if you're looking for something retro that might be a decent party game. It's not a complex game to play. It's pretty easy, and anyone could really pick it up, but it is definitely going to end up being an adult-oriented game. Let's take a look at the bottom of the box. You're going to hear all the pieces moving. So you can see the layout, kind of what it would look like. There's not much to it. It is really designed for 4 or more players and 2 teams. So you'll probably want to try and get even numbers if you can, so nobody feels left out. But pretty straightforward game. Kind of a cool little game. Just looks a little dated, and the quality is actually better than you would think. So I would say this is probably worth tracking down, especially if you have like retro game nights or anything like that. This might be a fun one to try. But it's probably not worth seeking out, but if you happen to come across a copy, yeah, I would pick it up. That's just my opinion, though. That's going to do it for this episode. We've seen what's inside. I've given you my opinion on it, and that's usually where we part ways. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews and unboxings. If you want to help the channel in other ways, links are in the description and on the About page. And, as always, we hope to see you on the next one.